Are we ready? Are we ready for this? We're packing all the things, getting ready to leave. We're about to take 5 people out into the middle of the desert and teach them YouTube.
Did we get a place to stay, or?
I thought you'd take care.
I have a tent packed.
For those of you who are a little bit newer to this channel, I actually started out by travel vlogging. You want to start a vlog? When I decided to create a YouTube channel, I was really into watching travel vloggers. So that just felt like the topic that I wanted to go after. Now, through creating a ton of content, I found that travel's not something that's sustainable for me, something I do once in a while, but it's not something that I'm gonna do 5, 10, 15 years down the road. I just didn't wanna be a travel vlogger. However, I've always wanted to do a group travel experience. And so as my channel has grown, I've wanted to bring you guys with me on one of these travel adventures to experience a new place. And it's also a cool opportunity to do a workshop. So 10 months ago, I was on Instagram just flipping through and I noticed this company, Trip. They were partnering with different Instagrammers and putting together these group trips. So I reached out to them because it looked like they had the missing piece to the puzzle. I have this idea, I have the audience, but I didn't have all the logistics figured out and I didn't really have the time to put everything together on my own. Now, instead of creating this trip and then just putting it out there for you guys to jump on, there's a survey in the description. This input is where we're going, what we're gonna do on the trip, what you guys are interested in, how extreme you wanna be, and then from there, I'm gonna build this trip and then I'm gonna make it available to you guys. Now, this gave me a ton of insight and it showed that there was a lot of interest in this trip. However, my data was kind of skewed across the board. So when I had this conversation with Trip, they wanted to push me towards a place that I've already been. What's up? Good morning. We're here in Ao Nang.
What's up? Good morning. Yo.
We finally made it here. It was a long travel day yesterday, but we are here
It wasn't bad.
in Thailand. Yeah, only 28 hours plus some, give or take. I ended up agreeing to Thailand, and that's the trip that I set out. Are you ready to go on an adventure? So what I've been working on is a trip where you get to travel with me, and the place that I chose is Thailand for this first trip. And it was gonna take me to some places that I actually have never been in Thailand and I was super excited for. Now, when I released the trip to you guys, there was some people that signed up, but there started to become complications and people had to back out. There was issues with the time, the journey, the time of year, and it was all because of the location that I chose. Now, working with Trip, you have to have a certain number of people before your trip actually happens. And for me, that number was 8. Now, I was getting close to 8, but if I had under 8, then I wouldn't be making enough money to cover the expenses. So I ended up canceling the trip and had to refund everyone that had already purchased their tickets.
I missed it. One more time.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I didn't get it good.
Now, around this time, Camera Camp happened. So Sony brought us all together up here in Montana to play with Sony cameras, check them out. I'm currently working with the A7R Mark IV. I've always wanted to play with some Sony full-frame mirrorless cameras. And one night, me and Levi struck up a conversation about doing these kind of trips. And that started this idea of us coming together to do one of these workshops. Levi's done these workshops before, but he's only done it on the sailboat. So we thought this would be a great opportunity. For me, it's a way to create my first kind of travel experience, workshop. And for him, it was doing one of these out of his comfort zone. So we decided on Joshua Tree and we just said, let's do it. Let's go for it. So basically I'm going to be going through YouTube stuff, how to do research, how to grow your channel and use your data to really, drive decisions.
Truthfully, I'm excited to hear your perspective on it, because on that topic, it's worked for you really well, which is cool, because that proves through strategic decision making you can get results
But if you don't have that like gut feeling, knowing what to make, then it doesn't, like, what's the point? Because eventually you're not going to build a solid audience. Like, what you do is build a true audience of people that actually care about like the content you're creating.
That's what the approach I'm going to take, is try to just emphasize more on how to make things that you're proud of on a story perspective, and then hopefully the merging of those two things give people a lot to think about.
The reason me and Levi put this event together was to create a space where people can, you know, hopefully pick up some valuable knowledge to help with their channel, but also just to have an experience. So what's so crazy about LA is you could be at the beach in the morning and then drive a couple hours, and then you're out here to have lunch. Me and Levi started in Santa Monica this morning. I went to the gym, jumped in the car, drove out here, picked up the crew, and then took a tram all the way to the top of the mountain. This is wild. I've met a lot of people that have never actually like gotten out of the city and gone and explored, you know, these places that are pretty close. And it's one of those things you just have to like remind yourself to get out of the loop of like doing the same thing all the time and in your comfort zone. And because there's really cool stuff out there to go explore, it just takes, you know, taking that step and doing it. Rather than doing like a full week experience, we're set on a weekend, make it a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to digest. And we really wanted to focus on one topic for the workshop, which was how to supercharge your YouTube channel.
Hey there, I'm Ben Stinnett. I think we'll throw a link to the channel up here in the corner, so make sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. We're having a great time out here at Creator Workshop Summit. What do we call it? YouTube, supercharge, create, make things. Subscribe.
We rented a house that was actually a yoga retreat center, but it provided the perfect place for us to do this event. Each day we would do a series of lectures and group discussions. And then we would jump in the car to go find some cool, unique places around Joshua Tree and actually put some of the ideas in practice. It was a mix of shooting and learning and discussing, and at nights we would hang out around the campfire and just come up with ideas with how we were going to move forward with our channels and what direction we were planning to go in 2020.
I think for me, my biggest takeaway is just this idea of continuing to create. That if we keep telling stories and keep creating content, everything else will fall into place.
If your goal is growth, there's a lot that goes behind really optimizing your work and getting it out there so that people can see it.
The amount of analytics that you can get, it just really blew my mind. I just thought, you know, man, they're just uploading YouTube videos. They're just making videos and just putting them out there. But for a data guy like me, mind blown.
Being in community with other creators to learn from each other, grow with each other, and develop what we're doing together has been amazing.
Don't forget that you are the one who are making the changes, who are making those steps, and it's up to you to make a difference, not for anybody else. So.
Stepping stones, like taking those small steps to get to the bigger goal. You know, like when I went out to do the workshop in Thailand, I was swinging way too big and I failed, but breaking it down into something much smaller where I can actually wrap my head around, you know, doing this whole event and putting it all together. And with anything that you do, especially things like YouTube, it's all about small steps. And you just got to keep chipping away, and those small steps will turn into bigger steps. We got like 15 minutes, and then we got to take this guy to the airport, and all the rest of the people, they're all kind of doing their last little videos, which is really cool to see everyone like take what we were saying and start making videos. Like,
for us, that's our biggest joy, is to see people actually doing things with what we're sharing. Otherwise, what's the point of all this, right?
Exactly. For me, I feel like this was like a big step to get into this world of taking what I do and teaching on YouTube and actually do it in a live person event.
From just the feedback we're already hearing from the attendees here, it's definitely one of those things where bringing multiple perspectives together and really being intentional about creating a space where people can go deep if they want to. That's we definitely pulled that off and shared our different perspectives, and then also just pushed them to go make. And So as far as I'm concerned, this was a massive success.
It was a ton of fun too. I mean, that's, you know, out of anything, it was just a lot of fun.
Dude, that 4x4 was epic. I can't do that with my van. Maybe I need to get a Gladiator rig because your Jeep was just performing amazingly.
That was incredible. I think it's time to reevaluate and take, it would be cool to take this and do even more of an adventure with it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
To mountains, go out on a boat, go to a different country.
All right, guys, that is it. I will see you on the next one, or we'll see you on the next one.